Have you ever heard of the fire that simply refused to go out? Not for a day, not for a week, but for decades. This isn't a myth or a legend. It's the very real story of Centralia, Pennsylvania, a town that has been burning from below for over 60 years. It all started back in 1962. Centralia was a small, bustling coal mining town. Like many similar towns, it had a landfill. The local fire department decided to do a routine cleanup burn of the landfill to clear out some space. This was a common practice at the time. They set the fire, let it burn for a bit, and then doused it with water, believing the job was done. But they made one critical, unseen mistake. The landfill was located in an abandoned strip mine pit, and what they didn't know was that the fire hadn't been fully extinguished. It had found its way into a network of abandoned coal mine tunnels snaking beneath the entire town. At first, nobody noticed. Life went on as usual. But soon, strange things started happening. Residents began complaining about a foul, sulfurous smell. Smoke and steam started mysteriously rising from the ground, sometimes right in people's backyards. The ground itself became warm to the touch, so warm that in winter, snow would melt in strange patches. It was like the town was sitting on a giant, slow-cooking stove. Still, for years, the true scale of the problem wasn't understood. People tried to live with it. They patched the cracks in their basements and tried to ignore the constant smell of burning coal. Some even found it a bit of a novelty. But the underground fire was relentless, slowly and steadily consuming the rich anthracite coal seams that were the town's lifeblood. The fire was invisible, a hidden monster moving silently beneath their feet. The situation became impossible to ignore in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The dangers became terrifyingly real. A gas station owner had to close his station when he discovered the gasoline in his underground tanks was heated to a dangerous 172 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, in 1981, the ground literally opened up. A 12-year-old boy named Todd Dombowski was playing in his grandmother's backyard when a sinkhole, 4 feet wide and 150 feet deep, suddenly yawned open beneath him. He was swallowed by the earth, clinging desperately to a tree root as hot, toxic steam billowed up from the abyss. He was saved by his cousin, but the incident sent a shockwave of terror through the community. The hidden fire was no longer just a nuisance. It was a deadly threat. Scientists and engineers were brought in. They drilled boreholes to measure the extent of the fire and the toxicity of the gases, which included lethal levels of carbon monoxide. The readings were shocking. The fire was spread over a huge area and